Are back on the Sportsmax Zone. Round 33 action in the English Premier League continued on Wednesday, with Manchester City looking to regain top spot in the title race as they hosted 10th place Brighton. We have those highlights.
Manchester City looking to get away. De Bruyne!
A real dangerous ball from Solly March, driven at that near post. Well, but should get across the near.
Here's De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva looking to get some space to get the shot away. Well, couldn't keep it in play, Terry Lamptey, so it is a corner to Manchester City to be taken by De Bruyne. Here's Gundogan looking to cross it in, but it was Solly March who blocked it. Gundogan roars for Manchester City to come forward from the fans. Kevin De Bruyne looking to keep going. Now the cross comes in, and there's the opening goal from Riyad Mahrez.
And I tell you what, I think there is a slight deflection just as he hits that towards goal. He just bounced and it slowed down. He just deflects.
So Mahrez with the corner. Out to Foden, who hits it!
Not even a great strike, is it, from Phil Foden? And it definitely takes a huge deflection, like the first goal.
De Bruyne. Let's get that ball into space for Foden to try and chase down. Maybe Stunk anticipated it well enough, though. They're still putting the pressure on here, though, Manchester City. And they get the ball back. Ball in and quickly! What a well-taken goal from Bernardo Silva, who makes it 3 for Manchester City.
Bernardo Silva, I actually felt he was going to have a touch, and he had the audacity to hit that first time, catching Sanchez out. What a goal that is. Everything about it. Defensively, Zinchenko coming and engaging straight into De Bruyne. And wow, that pass around the corner.
There goes the full-time whistle. Joy and elation for Pep Guardiola and his Manchester City side as they regain their place at the summit.
So the defending champions restoring the 1-point advantage that they had going into this round. There was also a huge London battle today between Chelsea and Arsenal. The race for a top 4 spot still on in earnest. Of course, Tottenham still in there. Very important what would have happened today between 3rd place Chelsea and 5th place Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Let's see what happened.
As much time as he anticipated. Arsenal defending mob-handedly. And then Christensen selling his goalkeeper short. It's a big moment this for Eddie Nketiah, and he's taken it brilliantly.
He backpedals, Nketiah gets across Malangsar, does everything right, and a great slot. That's a really sharp, smart finish from Eddie Nketiah. That's a goal out of nothing.
The goal scorer giving it away. By Loftus-Cheek setting up the chance, and Timo Werner's effort deflects it, and it's 1 apiece.
You know, all the power's been taken out of that strike by that deflection. Yes, there's bodies in the way.
That's ball in. Holding didn't read it. Now then he couldn't slide to try and bail Arsenal out. Holding's touch then saw Lukaku's eyes light up for a moment. Arsenal making a real hash of getting it out of harm's way. Eventually they manage it, and now they can turn and put the Chelsea back line under pressure. So taking on Sarr this time. Ødegaard coming onto it is Smith Rowe. It is a brilliant finish.
But what about that? Just shows you don't have to always get your head down and try and take the net off its hinges. You really don't.
Nicely done by Mount. Good ball in. It's 2-2. And for the second time, Arsenal's lead has quickly evaporated.
If the ball goes over your head and someone nods it in, sometimes that happens. That one, you can't allow it to happen.
He's given away by Azpilicueta. Tavares. Good turn by Nketiah. Good challenge from Thiago Silva. Good persistence from Nketiah. What a finish. What a game this is.
He just keeps himself in the mix. And there it is.
Cedric forward. Saka, the only man he had to try and hit in the middle. And he's got a penalty. Wrestled to the ground.
And he's trying to say that Saka's grabbing him. No chance.
A chance for Bukayo Saka to seal it. A fourth Arsenal goal. A fourth straight defeat avoided. Fourth spot moves that little bit closer. Even in a fixture with such a rich and varied history, that was an instalment for the ages.
Yeah, now here to review the action in the Premier League, former TNT international Brent Sancho. I'm very anxious to go to that 6-goal game with Chelsea and Arsenal, Brent. But in deference to the champions, let's go Man City's way. And I'm sure Mariah will like that as well as a Man City fan. Pretty efficient today, and as most people expected, restoring the advantage they have in the league table.
Yeah, extremely efficient, and nothing less than you expect from this Man City team. You have to put, of course, an extra check by Kevin De Bruyne's name. I thought he was outstanding today, and one of the catalysts as to why they got that result. It was a frustrating first half for them. Brighton stuck to their guns, very resolute in their defending. However, I think De Bruyne's craft and guile and ability, and just his might and his will was the difference in the fixture.
Yeah, Brent, and based on what we saw today, you can only hope, and, Pep would have to ensure that he keeps Kevin De Bruyne fit. He manages him just for the remaining games if Manchester City are to defeat Liverpool and win the Premier League.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation coming out of the FA Cup defeat over the weekend about Pep's team selection. And look, at the end of the day, you have to manage. You're correct. There's a lot of fixtures piling up. There's Champions League, of course, there's the league running. And for Pep, if you were to ask him, and I'm very sure he would say this, I think Champions League and, of course, the EPL title is probably first and second for him. No disrespect, of course, to the FA Cup. So you're correct. A lot of it is about rotating. There's a lot of it is about trying to keep the fluidity in the team, trying to keep the team chemistry. Yes, Man City has a lot of depth within their squad. However, it is critical that his key players, as you mentioned, Kevin De Bruyne, stays fit throughout this, of course, running of important fixtures for Manchester City.
Yeah, and speaking about Pep Guardiola, let's hear what the Man City boss had to say after today's win.
To yourselves, because the players seem to play with so much confidence and belief.
Yeah, of course. So we know it. So it's just 1 month to finish the Premier League, and we know what you have to do. If we drop just 2 points, Liverpool will be champion, and if we win all games, we will be champion. And we are going to play. We have to play all the games. Really tough fixtures that we have ahead of us. So in the best way as possible.
Kevin De Bruyne got a huge ovation from the crowd when he came off. What did you think of his performance in particular?
Wow. When he is mentally ready, and especially if he's fit and he's physical without problems, and he is a player like have an incredible special thing, and he made an incredible performance.
It's asking a lot of your players at the moment, given the fixture schedule, and you lost 2 defenders to injury. Have you got an update on those?
No, I don't know right now. So Nathan have a twist in the ankle in the first half, and John Lee tight, and yeah, many games, many fixtures, and that's why sometimes happen.
But overall, you must be so pleased with the way the players keep going again for you.
Always I'm pleased. People is not pleased sometimes when we lose, but always I'm pleased with the players. We were 6 years together. The last 5 was outstanding what we have done. So always I'm pleased. And sometimes we can win, we can lose, but they give everything. And
Man City boss there, Pep Guardiola. Brent, I'm listening to Pep talk, and the only thing I'm thinking is, you can't help but feel that although Pep has done it many times before, there's some sort of nervousness, the fact that you're just not sure what will happen in the next few games.
Yeah, well, it's not guaranteed, and I think it's more a respect as to the opponents that are chasing, whether it be Liverpool, of course, for the league title, or the remaining contenders in the Champions League. There's nothing set in stone for Manchester City. And despite the fact that, of course, Pep Guardiola will be, of course, regarded as arguably one of the best managers in the world game, in the game of football at some point, he still, in his mind, would like to achieve certain goals and, of course, would like to win certain titles. And I feel that despite that he is in a good position, you can tell that there is a certain amount of respect to the type of opposition that's remaining in the competition. And he knows very well that in a game of football, that can go any direction.
Yeah, we didn't talk to you yesterday, Brent, about Liverpool's performance because they appeared flawless as well in their win over Man U. So 6 games now to go in the season. Both teams' next assignments appear easy. Liverpool have, well, based on the point standings, Liverpool have Everton and Man City have Watford, who are in the relegation zone at the moment. Any worry for that Merseyside derby, which sometimes can be a little bit tricky for Liverpool against their Everton neighbours?
Yeah, a derby always brings out a certain level of enthusiasm in players, and of course the rivalry is always there. That's just saying the quality in Everton is so poor that they just won't be able to muster anything against Liverpool. And of course, Liverpool quality is so good. I do think that Man City, as you know, it's City's title to lose. It's very hard to see where they will drop points, despite the fact that there's still 6 games left. But I just think that the level and standards that both managers have set for their respective players, it's very, very hard to see how they're going to drop points. They are in a situation that they know that within 6 games they could of course get the title, City of course, and Liverpool is aware that they have to keep the pressure up, and I think both charges are used to this type of pressure and will relish it. So yeah, despite the fact that yes, there's 6 games less, I don't see much of a bother for both.
Yeah, talk to us quickly now about Arsenal and Chelsea today. Arsenal winning 4-2 in a 6-goal game, coming off 3 consecutive losses. How exciting was that for you?
Yeah, it was a tremendous game of football. I just think that you have to give Mikel Arteta a lot of credit. Not only the way he set his team up from a tactical side, but how he's man-managed. We've spoken so many times about Arsenal and of course, the toxic atmosphere they have within the club. I think he's gone a long, long way in trying to weed that out. And what you've seen was a positive front foot display from an Arsenal team that, as you rightfully said, they lost 3 games. They would have come in a losing 3-game streak. But and also for Chelsea, Lance, you have to wonder, of course, since the situation with Abramovich has taken place, what is going on in that football club. And I feel that there are a lot of players within there and that level of uncertainty that their standards have dropped. And it's not much that Thomas Tuchel could do because that is the current situation that you're in. But take no credit away from Arsenal. I thought today's result was exceptional. I thought the performance was really, really of high quality.
Yeah, well, let's get Thomas Tuchel in now. He made some post-match comments today. I'm not sure if it could throw any light on, some of what you're suggesting about the club being out of form and facing real problems. Thomas Tuchel.
Don't know if it's a defensive lack of conviction if we have ball possession and invite these kind of mistakes the opponent to score. I cannot remember any mistake in our favor of this caliber. Is that a word in English? Of this quality. We don't get these goals. We give these goals away here in consecutive games. You cannot win Premier League matches.
Does it show you missed Tony Rudiger tonight?
Of course.
Having brought yourself back into the game twice, does that make it even more disappointing because you're giving yourself a platform to get going again?
Of course, we always had a platform today, but second half was nowhere good enough. First half was... They changed the tactics 3 times, we changed. It was also, I include myself, not on the highest level, but individually how we concede the goals is dramatic mistakes. There's like individual mistakes are like in the first goal, the third goal and the fourth goal, completely individual mistakes from us. It's very hard if you start with a 3-0 for the opponent.
Was it all the more surprising or indeed frustrating because you came into the game on such good form?
Yeah, and then we decided to give a goal away for absolutely nothing, and we did the same against Real Madrid, and we did the same against, it cost us Champions League, and did the same against Brentford.
You wanted to give Romelu Lukaku an opportunity tonight. What did you make of his performance and his contribution?
No interest in talking about individual player after team performance like this.
But we spoke about in pre-match, and you said you hoped tonight would be the spark. Did you see the spark?
Yes, that was pre-match, but now is post-match, and post-match I'm not interested in individual discussions after team performance like this.
As a coach, what do you do after a performance, a result like this?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, very miserable posture there coming from Thomas Tuchel, which we can't say is entirely surprising, Brent. He started off there by talking about the refereeing, which he thought worked against him.
Yeah, I think that's probably the start of what he really wanted to see, which what we heard at the end. He is disappointed because, look, he set some very good standards since he's gotten to Chelsea. He would have had a squad that, you wouldn't see those types of errors. He's correct. When he started as manager, we saw a lot of they weren't playing great at times, but they certainly didn't give up soft goals. And now you're seeing a Chelsea team that's imploded in some situations. And he did mention Brentford. He did rightfully mention Real Madrid. And this is something that we don't normally put together with a Thomas Tuchel Chelsea side. So, as I said, you have to understand that this is a group of players that have absolutely no clue as to what is happening at the football club and what the future holds. And there are several players there, Lance, that are out of contract. And, of course, will be wondering themselves, what is the next step? So all of those things, of course, are circulating in the minds. And it's very hard for them to stay focused as to what they will be for. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and of course he referenced Brentford, and you referenced it as well. That was just 2.5 weeks ago. They gave up 4 goals against Brentford, who are in the bottom half of the table. I know Real Madrid is a top team, so giving up 3 goals against Real Madrid isn't the same as giving up 4 against Brentford.
Yeah, and there's a type of goals as well, Lance. I think for Thomas Tuchel and even myself, some of the mistakes we'd be disappointed if we saw it at the SSFL or at Jamaica schoolboy football. We'd be very disappointed to see it. You don't expect that for the caliber of players that are making those types of mistakes, and they constantly shoot themselves in the foot. And that comes down to concentration. It comes down to, of course, the focus. And you have to wonder if that has gone because of the current climate that is at Chelsea.
All right, Brent. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to chatting again, and hopefully the Premier League table remains as it is.
I hope for your sake, Mariah.
Definitely. Well, still to come on the Sports Max Zone. In this week's edition of Just the Facts, our producers have decided to test our knowledge on Karen Pollard's exploits while representing the West Indies. Plus, Jamaica has been drawn in the group of death for the final round of the CONCACAF Women's World Cup qualifiers. Coach of Jamaica's Reggae Girls, Finn Blaine, is set to join us later on the show. But immediately after the break, we'll recap Atletico Madrid's match against Granada in La Liga earlier today. And we'll bring you highlights from Real's trip away to Osasuna. Stay with us. More Sports Max Zone after the break. Stay with Sports Max on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.